Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're doing well. Well, tonight we're going to talk about gold prices going crazy and how that's going to affect the average person. And one thing about it is that story should be the top story in every news station there is. And it's hard to find information on the price of gold. So, anyway, we're going to talk about that tonight. Gotta wait for a few people to show up, so let's discuss some things. I tried going live last night, but for some reason, YouTube won't even let me onto my channel. It's just like, I realized I didn't get a strike, but it was really weird. Like I said, I couldn't go live. First time that's ever happened. So I don't know what quite was up with that. I guess they haven't been liking my content lately. I don't know what to tell them. Things are messed up. People got to hear the truth. So that's what I'm dealing with on my channel. I mean, they won't even let me go on to my channel sometimes. And when I like doing a live stream or doing a video or whatever, putting out my content, and I sit there and I try to even make a title on the video, the algorithm gives me a hard time. Any little stop sign they can try to sit there and throw in front of me to slow me down. But it's not going to work. So, but they do their best. And, YouTube wants to silence a lot of things. And the one thing they're definitely squashing down the truth on now, what's going on, and we must get into it right away, may not have anybody show up. This is YouTube. But anyway, the price of gold. The price of gold, I mean, what's it going to close? It's probably going to hit $5,000 by the end of November. And that's if it slows down. If the pace of gold going up like it is, it's going to be $6,000 by November 1st. I mean, and they're trying to, I don't want to say, not report on it. I mean, this is scary times, folks. This is scary times. It's basically, hey, how's it going? It's basically saying with gold going that high, that our money's worthless. Anything that's worth anything, the people that have the big bucks, that really control everything, I mean, all the money's going into gold. I mean, Bitcoin's dropping money. If it don't have any value, you're going to find out when gold. I mean, how high can it go? People used to talk about $10,000 gold. That was crazy time, right? Now they're talking even higher than that. I mean, look at the little pile of money it used to take to buy an ounce of gold 40 years ago compared to the gigantic pile of money it takes to buy an ounce of gold now. I mean, Bitcoin, what was it, 108,000, something like that? You can only buy 25 ounces of gold with one Bitcoin now. 25 ounces, if that, with the premiums that are put on it. That is insane. So I guess what's that mean for the average person like you and I? It means that things are going to get rough. Stores are going to get empty. Credit lines are going to freeze up. These companies that, aren't cash fluent, you might say, that are on credit, their credit lines are going to dry up. If you owe money to the bank, credit card debt and stuff like that, I mean, your life might start getting miserable because eventually, don't you agree that the rest of the economy has to catch up with gold? I mean, gold's more than doubled in a year. And we're not talking from 200 to 400. I mean, gold prices, like you say, this should be all over the news. This needs to be a story that everybody needs to know and understand. When gold prices, this ain't even spiking. This is going beyond crazy. I mean, like I say, if gold prices keep going up like they are, up to $100, and it'll get more a day, hell, it'll be at 10,000 before the end of the year. Can you imagine that? What Christmas would be like if gold was $10,000 an ounce. Anyway, it just shows, see, basically our money should be falling as fast, the dollar should be falling as fast as gold's climbing. Okay? And when gold falls, the strength of the dollar goes up. That's the way it's supposed to be. But we don't live in reality no more, do we? Kenny, hey, how's it going? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I tell you what, YouTube, they don't like truth getting out there. Like say you go to a social media and try to find out information on gold. I mean, the top story should be gold closed at a new record high of $4,350 today. You don't see none of those headlines nowhere. Nothing like that. But we get to hear about peace deals and stuff and how all these wars are going to end, right? Hey, if you like content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Anything help channel grow? Because like I say, I discuss subjects that YouTube don't want people to know about. They don't want people to realize that the dollar in your wallet and all the money in your bank account is basically worthless. I mean, this gold shit's retarded. I can't even imagine how scared the big money has to be for them to be driving up gold like this. And silver, I didn't think silver would ever go over, for sure, $50 an ounce because it's used in so much industrial, it's got so much industrial use. And that's what keeps it down anyway. That's why silver technically should be what? Easily $500 an ounce, $600 an ounce now? Well, we can't have that because of all the industry that uses it. Could you imagine paying $15,000 for a TV set? And then what they say in one of those Tomahawk missiles that are in Ukraine there, because they say they're sending them. They're in Ukraine. There's 40 pounds of silver in them. 40 pounds. Yep. But see, the average person, and then they sit there and talk about rebate checks and tariff checks, right? To get the average person all excited about, oh, I might get some money back. It's worthless, people. It's worthless. If you have Bitcoin, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I were you, and Bitcoin's $100 and some thousand dollars a Bitcoin, I would sell all of it and put it in to gold, since you can buy, a fair amount of gold with that money, not as lot as it used to be. And then let Bitcoin crash, dollar goes up, gold goes up, and then you can use half of the gold you bought when Bitcoin goes back up to get where you were at in Bitcoin. See, this Bitcoin's all retarded. It's based on what? The wealth of it's based on what? A lot of people that think it's worth something. That's what keeps the dollar up, our fiat currency, because people think it's worth something. That's why you're able to trade that worthless piece of paper for something that is actually worth something. You're poor? Hey, tell you what, Kenny, I love being poor. I'm a simple, humble man. I've had times in my life where I was very financially set and I couldn't stand stress. You get punished for being successful. You pay a shit ton of taxes, and all you got is everybody else that knows you think that they deserve a better life because your life is going better. Fuck the money, okay? Money's worthless, people. It's the carrot they use to sit there and tow everybody around. But it's worthless. That's why we're $38 trillion in debt. Because you still got people that are willing to accept a worthless green piece of paper that the government can give them for something that's valuable. Why wouldn't the government keep printing it? As long as people keep taking it. And one day, how is our economy going to collapse? I'll tell you how it's going to happen. As fast as we ran out of toilet paper. That's how fast it's going to happen, everybody. You're going to wake up in the morning thinking everything's fine. And then by the afternoon, you're going to be like, oh shit, everybody, we're out of toilet paper. That's going to be a lot worse. I mean, I just don't. $4,400 gold, $4,500. I mean, 5,000 by the end of this month, maybe 6,000. I mean, it's got to slow down sooner or later, right? I mean, if this keeps growing like it is, I mean, we got gold going up like Bitcoin was going up, and nobody's saying nothing. You know, Bitcoin going up, that's just because you got people putting money where they shouldn't. It's not worth anything. But gold has been the gold currency for many thousands of millennials and stuff. I wonder whatever started out that rock, gold being a form of currency, where, you know, people, instead of bartering goods or services, they actually started exchanging currency. I mean, I'm talking way, way back, right? When human beings first started exchanging that yellow stone for currency instead of, you know, bartering, right? I wonder why it was gold. I don't know. Question for the ages, right? But now we sit here with gold that, I mean, what were the stories? Well, when gold goes over 2,500. Oh, when gold goes over 3,000, the economy is just going to collapse. Oh, and they weren't even talking about 4,000. You know, it just eventually, you know, we're all going to get hit with hyperinflation too. This is going to bring about hyperinflation. Okay, and Trump may say, yeah, we got plenty of gold in Fort Knox and wherever we got our gold. Bullshit. Remember that audit that was supposed to happen months ago? That never happened. And frankly, I don't believe a politician, they could take pictures of the shit. It could just be gold painted bars. I think China got caught in that once where the cores of their gold bars were some other type of metal. They're trying to cheat it. Anyway, you know, it don't matter. Even countries do that, right? I don't know. That must be somebody that laid this comment, somebody that's not in the United States of America. I appreciate you being here. But anyway, yeah, this is one subject that I noticed researching it with the price of gold now. I mean, it's just our economy is a ticking time bomb. It's just every day that stuff keeps going up. I mean, I can see it plainly. Things are going to get real bad in the United States of America. I say when we become a third world country, when we wake up in the morning, we're a first world country, and by the afternoon, we're a third world country. When that day happens, you know, they're not going to be able to hide it no more. But right now, like I say, they're just trying to hide it. Silence anybody who talks about it. Where's Jim Cramer on? What was that? MSNBC or whatever, CNN. And then Trump's, the economy's just fine. Everything's great. Yeah. You people have no clue what the average American goes through. Aren't you sick and tired of politicians telling you how everything is just fine and they need to raise your taxes some more, take some more of your money because they got this other government problem they got to solve? Trump's sitting there, the government's never made more money than it's making now. Yeah, because the American people have never been poor. No shit. It's not like the government's making any money, it's taking it all from us. And they're still spending more money than they take in. What's it now, $1 trillion a quarter? $3 or $4 trillion a year we go into debt? Now, that's another reason gold's going up, because America can never pay off its debt. We're beyond capable of doing that. I mean, if America decides to tighten its belt and, the next 3 generations that aren't born yet tighten their belts and shit, borrowing money from our kids that aren't even born yet. What kind of fucking people do that shit? Just so we can sustain our lifestyle. Boy, I know Americans, 3rd generation, not born yet, is going to be so happy knowing that his financial future was given away to illegals in this country because we had to be nice, or given to foreign wars. Currency ain't could be worse shit anyway. Like I say, the dollar's going bye-bye. They done destroyed that. That's why they want to sit there and throw as much at the Americans as possible. You wait. All of a sudden, you're going to have rebate checks coming out, just like they flowed. Oh, well, they started flowing in 2008, all that, or 2009. Our money's worthless, people, like I say. Look at an ounce of gold, okay? Back when, they bought gold back in 33 from Americans. Roosevelt wanted their gold, gave him $20.62 for an ounce of gold. A lot of Americans turned it in. And then once he sat there in 1934, they raised the price of gold to $35. So they sat there and made a 70% profit on all the gold they got from the American citizens overnight. That's our government. Okay, but 1934, $35 an ounce. And back then, you used to be able to take $35 and go to a bank and get an ounce of gold. Well, they sure don't have that no more, do they? But $35 an ounce, right? And now we're at 4,000. Last I heard 380 one time. You can't even get the right price anymore. It's just breaking records. Boy. Now let's say $1 in 1934, or what, $35 was worth, 1 ounce of gold, what that was worth. And how much of that it would take to buy an ounce of gold these days. Do you see that your dollar isn't worth crap? I explain it to my kids this way, okay? There's only so much, we'll use gold, okay? You got a pile of gold here, right? And you got a pile of money there that covers that, to buy that gold. And every year you got to keep adding to that pile. And eventually, all the money in the world even doesn't buy that little bit of gold anymore. I mean, the money pile keeps getting bigger to buy it, but the ounce of gold never gets bigger. That's fixed. And when America finds out that, it's going to be bad news for everybody. There may be pitchforks and torches in the street, especially when you got a group of people that like government assistance and government entitlements when they ain't there no more. Because like I say, in the morning when we wake up and we're a first world country, in the afternoon we find out we're a third world country, well, EBT is going to go down before midnight that day because there ain't going to be no money. And that's how fast it's going to happen, folks. But it's going to be good that they have military in all the cities, isn't it? America is headed down a shit show and a half. By the way, it's just something that needs to be watched. This is something that should be the top story everywhere. Gold over $4,000 an ounce. Gold closing at record amounts. Record closes every day. That needs to be the top story. I mean, when gold goes up 3% one day, but it was over $4,100 when it started, that's a lot of money. And that's how fast. When our economy catches up to the price of gold, like I say, prepare for hyperinflation. Because everything is going to be priced according to what gold's priced at, not the dollar. You understand? They're going to sit there and price it at how much gold it would take to buy what you're looking for. And, and if that happens to be $1,000 and it's a loaf of bread, just deal with it. Anyway, it just, all the signs are pointing to a really bad storm that's coming. I just want to shop. The price to meat already went up again. Yeah, price of meat. Yep. I tell you what, I like living out here. I tell a story all the time. I like living out here in this country of Nebraska and Colorado area, where we still have old-fashioned meat lockers where meat comes in the back of the building in the hoof. It gets butchered and it goes out the front door and packaged, and there's no shipping it here. And I paid $5.38 for a pound of 90% lean Colorado and Nebraska pasture-fed cow and hogs. I mean, just, I'm sick. I ain't buying meat that was scraped off the knives in the machine that ground it. Okay. But yeah, everything's going up. But don't worry, Trump is saying everything's going down. And like I say, the day when our prices meet what gold's at, because eventually it has to equalize. Okay? And our economy is going to follow gold. Gold's already told us our economy sucks. If you're in debt, you may not have a vehicle. You may be homeless. I mean, these banks are going to protect themselves, and they will demand payment at that time. Because like I say, they probably won't even want money if you had it, because money is going to be worthless. Oh, and then they can do the old digital currency thing, can't they? Put everybody on credits. Yep. What's digital currency? I always say digital currency is having a bank account where the government's the primary signature and you're the secondary signature. And everything you purchase on that account has to be okayed by the primary signature. Kind of like Social Security is, right? Where you are forced to make deposits into your Social Security account, but the government's in charge of the withdrawals and how much you get, right? Anyway, they got all these systems set up and stuff. It's crazy time. But just, make the best thing you can do now is, if you got the money, go out and buy extra supplies, especially toilet paper. Get your toilet paper before that runs out again. All right? But stock up, so when everybody starts losing their mind, it's not hoarding. Stocking up. And don't forget, not just now, but you need to look to next year when this persists. So now if you can go out and buy seeds for a garden, heirloom seeds preferably, ones that the seed will generate new plants. But, stock up, stuff like that. Stuff you're going to need if next year you're on your own more and there isn't government assistance everywhere like it is now. Like I say, when our economy catches up to where gold's at right now, I mean, we couldn't afford our economy when gold was $1,500 an ounce, $1,800 an ounce. Well, it's doubled that, almost tripling that. Like say, if this pace keeps up, we'll not only have $5,000 gold, but $6,000 gold by November 1st. And we will have $10,000 gold by Christmas. I can't even believe I'm talking like this. If we can have over $4,000 an ounce gold, and our economy hasn't collapsed yet. People are still oblivious to what's going on. Another reason why our gold is so high, like a video I made, because Ukraine war is destroying the United States economy. And Russia knows that. That's why Russia isn't going to sue for peace. They don't want peace. Because like I say, gold's at over $4,300 an ounce now. So Russia looks at that and say, well, we got to do this for maybe another 6 months to a year, boys, and the United States is going to collapse. And the thing is, when the United States collapses, they can sit there and take over Europe, Russia can, without sending one troop in, one airplane, one bullet or nothing. And they can basically sit there and control Europe. Anyway, but like I say, we were taught real economics when I was growing up. We weren't taught that debt is an asset. Debt is a liability. And now it's an asset. So obviously I wouldn't understand bookkeeping rules these days. I mean, to even put the double line underneath the bottom, your final total, because maybe that's not the final total. I heard if the price of gold and aluminum goes up, then our next purchase phone will be up. Yeah, and our laptops will be 8,000. TVs, exactly. This is why I never thought silver could go up like that, because it's an industrial metal. It's held down so consumers can afford to buy the products that have silver in them. But, technically silver should be about $400 or $500 an ounce right now. Could you imagine that? And then that's not the only thing. Copper's going up. All precious metals, platinum, everything is going up. And that's the rich people understand that wealth is something you can touch, you can feel. It's something you have. They've already understood for years that money ain't worth nothing. That's why they exchange it for stuff that's worth stuff. But they already know that. But, that's why all the big money's going to gold. That's where everything's rushing into. It's not American, the stock market or the bond market. Nobody even has faith in America anymore. Not like that. We have a bond sale in our Federal Reserve's got to buy it because nobody else will buy it. But where's the safe money, the smart money? The smart money's going where? To gold. And that is your last, when everything else is failing and you realize nothing else is worth a fucking anything, not even a penny. That's when the rich people put their money in gold. To something that's worth something. All right? Now, we all can't do what the rich guy can do. We're all not going to have gold to restart the financial system when stuff gets crazy, but you have skills, okay? I always say in the end, the person who has all the skills will end up with all the gold. All right? That's who I am. I think knowledge is king. When the status quo changes like it is now, like I say, our dollar is worth nothing. Nothing. But anyway, tough times ahead, everybody. Get prepared. Like I say, anything you can buy today is cheaper than what you're going to pay for it tomorrow. You need to start getting that prepper mentality. That's why the people that lived through the Depression, the grandparents we had and stuff. I mean, they had some unusual habits. And we're going to start having this where they reused everything. We talk about recycling back then. All right, hand-me-downs and stuff. But anyway, we're going to learn all these rules again, and we're going to have a whole new generation. Remember, they went from the roaring 20s where everything was great and glorious and everything was great to the Depression. So, it's even going to be worse this time, especially when there isn't no money for social services. It's going to be a bad time for people, and there ain't going to be no jobs to make any money. So you're dealing with people that are used to and it gets filled because they have a hard luck story and they're taken care of. And they never learn to take care of themselves. Anyway, but like I'd like to tell them people, the politicians are the ones that always told you you were going to get your money. It wasn't the American taxpayer. Anyway, hey, what's the bond market? Just explain in your own words. I'm curious. The bond market is basically you have different years, term limits on the years, and they're even talking about a 100-year bond, right? But just basically putting your money into investing in America, buying an American savings bond. No different than a city bond where they promise you a return, a guaranteed return. Okay? That's all it is investing in your country. And other countries investing in your country like it used to do in the United States, buying bonds. That used to be the safe place, was the bond market. Well, now the safe place is gold. Anyway, good question, though. It doesn't matter. All paper markets are going to collapse. Because they're going to find out paper isn't worth anything. All these people that got paper gold contracts and stuff. Anyway, just another way where they can make more money that didn't exist. Paper gold. Anyway, but I've been talking for 32 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. YouTube's actually clamping down on my channel again. But truthful information, what's going on with the economy, is hard to find. And the bad time to start reacting to it is when you start feeling it, okay? Because it's going to go downhill fast. So like I say, everybody even the government's telling us to prep a little bit and prepare. I'm not talking about going out and buying generators and all that shit. You know, I'm a lone wolf prepper, so I'm quite advanced in my prepping. But, you know, I've also seen the signs on the wall since 1994 when I got out of the Marine Corps, how bad our country was headed, the path it was headed. I just didn't think it'd ever get this far before the people rebel. I mean, if you would have told somebody back in the 1980s that gold was going to be over $4,000 an ounce in our economy, the politicians would still be saying, the economy's great. Remember, John McCain said that 3 weeks before all hell broke loose in 2008 in October. Oh, the economy's great. Okay. Anyway, can't listen to a politician. Just like, you know, when George Bush landed on that carrier and said, the Iraq war is over. Okay. And, you know, and Donald Trump's sitting there doing his Middle East peace deal tour and stuff. Hope that's going good. I hear they're still killing people over there. But anyway, that's a normal everyday thing for them, isn't it? But I appreciate everybody being here. And we'll see what there is to discuss tomorrow night. Maybe gold will be $5,000 by tomorrow. All I know is one day, if it ever jumps, especially at what it's at now, a 10 or 15%, the market's going to crash. If it doesn't crash that day, it'll crash the next day. Because all these rich people are taking their money out of the market and they're putting it to gold. That's what you do when you're really wealthy. Okay? You sit there and move your money around to something that's got a little bit more stability. And right now it's a piece of gold. That's it. Wait till Bitcoin drops out of this. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Anyway, but everybody hang in there. Just try to make sure you're prepared so you can react to whatever the future may bring. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. If YouTube lets me do a live stream, like I say, you're kind of upset with my channel right now. But other than that, everybody have a great night. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.